Welcome back everybody to another Madden NFL 22 franchise mode video here, guys. Shout out to the boy Mr. Colin Kaepernick for getting the shout out there as we take a look at our brackets here. So the Browns will get the bye in the AFC, which is surprising, but in this video we're going to go ahead and cover the playoff matchups here as we set up the NFC Championship. First of all, kudos, shout out to the boy Josh Jones, who was able to upgrade himself to a 71 overall. There we see some of the matchups. Kansas City wins, the Chiefs end up advancing, and the Titans end up winning their round. Now, because we were the #1 team in the NFC, we ended up getting a bye, and we end up facing the lowest ranked team still remaining in contention, which in this case was the, I believe, #6 overall Seattle Seahawks. So this will be the last time that we will have a divisional matchup between Russell Wilson and the Seahawks versus the Cardinals, because the Seahawks are, they trade away Wilson and they're not going to be as competitive as they were in previous years, at least until they fully go over that rebuild, which, I mean, depending on what ends up happening with drafts, could potentially be sooner. But for now, as we wind down this series here, we go ahead and start off our opening drive here with the pass to Mr. DeAndre Hopkins, who's going to go ahead and then get us close enough to the red zone for Mr. James Conner to bring it in for the first rush touchdown of the game here. Wilson, of course, with the strong offense, able to tie the game up at 7 apiece here as we start the second drive. There we see Kansas ends up picking up the win to advance to the championship. And now to go over our matchup, the Cowboys end up beating the Washington football team. So winner between us and the Seahawks faces Dallas. Now, that, usually Madden ends up favoring a lot Dallas. So that's just kind of the way it goes. Dallas ends up doing really well in simulations from what I've noticed among other YouTubers. They just, that press, I guess it's the Dax Prescott effect. Let me know in the comments below what do you think about the Dax Prescott effect in Madden games, as Isabella just ends up catching a very, very solid pass, and here he goes again. Here he goes again as he's trying to get all the way down to the end zone, gets us down to the 21, a nice 22 yards after the catch there, and now Connor open lane. Very surprised here from the Seahawks. Seahawks defense has just not been doing too well here, as Kirk is able to kind of basically run himself into that end zone. So it's now 21-7 over there, just trying to get away, and we give it to him one more time. Was able to get to the other side of the 40, and there we see Colin Kaepernick 44-17 against the Browns. And obviously the Browns are going through their lineup rehaul. Obviously Beckham's no longer, has not been with the Browns for a while, and then obviously Baker Mayfield has been replaced. So we'll see how the simulations go in Madden 23. That's actually one thing I'll be very curious to see, as to how the simulations end up going on that, as we end up scoring a field goal. We have to settle there, and it's going to be 24-14 as Gabriel Davis ends up catching a pass there to put us at the 28-yard line with 25 seconds left. Not bad. Not bad. And so that's definitely one thing. If there's anything, any advice I can give to anybody who's new to Madden or trying to play the Madden franchise mode games, I would say for a franchise that you're trying to build, look at your expiring contracts. If there's somebody that you're not going to keep the following year, trade them. And that's exactly what we did, and we ended up getting a nice asset in Gabriel Davis. Like I said, we weren't looking for a #1 or a #2 option, but someone solid to back up, and I think Gabriel Davis has become that person for us, and gives us, technically speaking, if we would have ran a third year in this Cardinals franchise mode, Gabriel Davis would have been available at a very good price. So that's the thing I always tell, is always look at rookie contracts and see what you can do there to help your salary cap situation. Because remember, unlike the NBA, you're stuck. whatever the cap is kind of what you have to work with. And for the most part, when your rookies end up becoming solid veterans, they want big contracts. So you can't afford to keep everybody. As we get Darnell Daniels down to the 35 here, winding down the third quarter, Kirk almost goes all the way down to the end zone. And he ends up having to settle at the 3. As I guess Teddy Bridgewater was in Washington. I guess surprisingly they end up doing really well. As Chase Edmonds, we will say goodbye to him since he ends up for the 2022 season he'll be with the Miami Dolphins, so we won't be able to use him come Madden 23. And for the first time in this game, we're going to have to punt it on 4th down. Wilson ends up taking advantage and cuts the lead back down to 10. As we are down to 9 minutes to go, just a little over. Kyler Murray there on 1st down, able to rush it down. Flag on the floor. Definitely it's going to be against the defense for unnecessary roughness. Gets us all the way down to the 14 as Hopkins picks up pretty much an easy touchdown there. Not really much we can discuss there, as we're just at this point going for the kill. So we're going conservative, but we're going to keep putting points on the board. And now it's a 3-touchdown lead, or was, and then on the next drive, end up settling for a field goal, not able to do anything with it. And now as the final seconds wind down, we force Seattle to use their last timeout. We give it to Eno Benjamin, our 3rd running back, who gets the experience points. And our field goal kicker misses one from the 30. As that pretty much wraps up this game here, guys. We're going to be going to the NFC Championship and facing none other than the Dallas Cowboys. It is going to be at home since we are the number 1 seed. So it's just an interesting matchup as we look. There you see Russell Wilson, 48 throws, 31 catches. Connor, 137 yards. And it really was a running game that put us away. And there you see Christian Kirk, 108 yards. Metcalf from Seattle did such a fantastic game. Kudos to Wilson, guys. Anyway, guys, take care, guys. And stay tuned for the next video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.